Daily Home is a all-inclusive real estate marketing solution.
Okay.
Long story short, when you start to talk about how real estate has been operated and conducted over the course of the last 50 to 70 years, there's never really been a shift, right? There's never really been an opportunity to change that market. The MLS is very restrictive, and the programs that have followed it, whether it be Realtor.com or Zillow or Truilla, are also very restrictive.
Okay.
So 3-4.5 years ago.
So much of them are taking data from the same restrictive system.
Absolutely.
It's hard to expand on restriction.
Think about this for a minute, though. When you build that MLS, you build that specifically for a real estate agent. When you come out and you build a Zillow or a Realtor.com, you're building that for the consumer, right? So why wouldn't you give that consumer every opportunity to be able to view a home properly? Well, what they've done is they've essentially adopted the same methodology that the MLS has adopted, in that will allow you 30 photographs. Well, at the end of the day, 96% of the consumers want to buy via video. Right? 4% of the real estate agents on the planet offer it. That's...
I'm sorry. How many? 4%?
4%. Right? Well, and now think about this.
That's
It's
crazy.
because they have no medium with which to utilize that video.
Sure.
They can share it on some social media. You get a little Twitter, you get a little Facebook. But at the end of the day, Zillow and Truilla and these companies just haven't caught up. They're behind that power curve.
Okay.
Right? So there are companies out there that are essentially similar to us and what we do. They'll do the interior photographs. They'll do the 3D Matterport visual tour. They may even throw in some drone video like we do. But at the end of the day, none of them package that into what it really takes to actually market a home.
Right.
They sell these as independent services. So when you think about how a real estate agent gathers their commissions, right? A $100,000 home gets treated like he's the stepchild, right? Because there's no commission there, right? But when it's a $500,000 home or $1 million home, bam, you get this amazing package that's like, oh my God, let me market this house properly. Here's some video, here's a 3D tour, here's, let me fly over and show you the neighborhood, right? But at the end of the day, you got to have that return from that commission to be able to afford those services independently.
Because they're not cheap.
No, sir. Gosh,
They're not inexpensive.
A standard photographer is going to cost you $100, $150, depending on the market. You may go up to $300, right? When you start to talk about drone services, that's another, $150 an hour.
Yeah.
When you start to talk about somebody walking through your home for 2.5 hours with a 3D Matterport camera, which is going to create that really super cool visual tour, now you're talking about another $200. By the time you're done marketing that home, it's cost you $700, $500, $700.
Right.
You can't afford that when your commission is $800, $1,200, because the way a commission structure works, the buyer gets 3%, the seller gets 3%, then they're going to go home and they're going to split that money with their managing broker. And whatever that split is, 70-30, 50-50, depends on how they've done their pay-in. But at the end of the day, that guy comes home with no money. You might make 1.5%, maybe 2% if you're super, super lucky off of every property, right?
Or you're high velocity and the broker is willing to take a smaller cut.
Right, absolutely. And that's where you climb up to that 2%, right?
Exactly.
The majority of the guys out there, the ladies out there, they're getting 1.5%.
Yeah.
And so you have to have that extreme volume. So when you're in a market like where we're at, Central Illinois, you'll find that the average home price runs somewhere in the range of about $130,000 to $170,000. Okay. So what we found, and the reason why we created this company, we're about 3 months old, but there's a need in the market, and we believe that we've created that next dynamic shift in the real estate market. We kept trying to lease a home through a property management company. Me and my partner own some rental properties together. We look around, and I said, hey, how come that property hasn't been leased? And he says, well, I don't know. Let me check it out. He goes online. He's looking at the pictures. It looks like a mother-freaking dungeon, right? Oh. It is dark. It is grainy. Somebody went in there with an iPhone and never turned on the lights. You know what I mean? Like, it is horrific, right? And I said, man, dude,
Yeah,
I'm paying these guys.
You're never going to lease a cave.
No, gosh, no, you're not.
There's simply not.
We've moved past the cave stage. Certainly.
There's simply not enough wizards in any market.
Or Bruce Wayne's.
Right? Or Bruce Wayne's. That's a true story.
There simply aren't enough to be able to justify a cave.
Right. So we looked at this photograph setup that these guys had created for us, and that was part of that, we're going to lease your property package. And we said, hey, would you guys be willing to go back out there and, get some better photographs?
And make this not suck.
They said, no, this is what you get. We've given you the one-shot deal, and we'll hold on to the property until we lease it. And we kind of said, well, that's some BS, right? So we went out.
Can I send you some non-terrible photos?
So this is what we did. Swear, like you laugh, right? But we went out. We bought us a little $400 camera at the Walmart that had a little flash attached. We go over there.
Kidding.
No kidding, right? It's an amazing concept. We flip on all the lights in the home. We go through. We snap these photos. They're bright. They're amazing. They're beautiful. I take them over there. I say, you guys mind putting these up for us? They said, no, absolutely not. 3 days later, the home was leased. I said, holy crap. Maybe we ought to start talking to somebody about, can we go in and photograph their stuff for them?
Wow.
Well, as we start talking to these guys, they're all like, nah, it's not really a program for us. We got a photographer and blah, blah, blah. And so we start looking around. We got some friends in the real estate industry, and we start looking around. And across the board, when you start looking at that MLS, 70% of the photos absolutely suck. They are horrific, right? How do you buy a home when you don't know what room is where and if this room even exists?
Right.
And
how do you even bring yourself to care when you see garbage photos?
Absolutely. And so what you see is a ton of homes that are on the market for 6, 7, 8 months, because you have to find that person who's literally going to come strolling through that house and be like, oh, this is my dream home. Okay? How do you find that character, right? That's super, super tough. Right? And the majority of the time you'll find that it's happenstance, it's luck. Jimmy happened to be driving down the house and saw the freaking for sale sign in the yard, and he said, I better call them guys because that might be my house. Right?
It's certainly not based on the photos you see online.
No, it's certainly not.
Yeah.
So as we started talking to agents, one agent says, I pay this guy $100, I pay this guy $150, and at the end of the day, all you still get is photos. Some of them are amazing. I'll never detract from a photographer's skill.
Right.
But what I will say is that there's no consistency in what you're purchasing, okay?
Right.
Today you get cloudy skies, tomorrow you get beautiful skies, the next day it's rainy skies, but more importantly, you get a different viewpoint. Right? Every photographer believes that they are the next Da Vinci. They believe that they're the next greatest thing on wheels. And again, not to take away from those talents, but what I mean to imply is that there's no consistency.
Yeah.
He sees things differently than you do, just like he'll see them differently than I will. Right? And so at the end of the day, what happens is there's no consistency across that board. Right? And what we aim to do is to create consistency. Okay, so we've eliminated the photographer completely. That $100 fee, that $150 wasted fee, where I can't guarantee that I'm going to get those pictures back in 24 hours. I can't guarantee that they're going to be edited properly. I can't guarantee that they're going to be bright and nice and with a blue sky behind it.
You
know
can't
what I mean?
guarantee that it's not going to make things worse.
Correct. So we've eliminated that. We utilize a Matterport camera system, a 3D Matterport system that we swipe the photos from as we 3D the home. Okay, so I'm creating that 3D tour while I'm creating the photographs. Right? So it's kind of a 2-in-1 little system, right? Really super cool. Then what we do is we'll fly that drone over the top of your property, right? And then we'll take some video, kick the door open, make it look like you're walking in the house. Some homes we fly a little Mavic drone through and do some really cool stuff, right? And then we compile all of that together into a neat little YouTube or a Vimeo marketing video. Right? We push that video out on social media for you and help you kind of blast that out. So if you look at the shift in the industry, what's happening now is Realtor.com, Zillow, they're all creating little spaces inside those web pages specifically for that Matterport. That Matterport has exploded the industry, and that is now the new standard, okay? And if you're not using it, you're not only behind the curve, but you are doing your client a disservice, okay? And so what we've done is we've built a website that's really a lead generator for our clients. And what we say to the general public is, hey, look, you get options. You could have all the options you want. There's 781 real estate agents in our local market alone. So take your pick. However, when you get ready to pick, here are the 15 people that are going to market your home properly.
Right.
Okay? Now, we would prefer that you choose one of these guys or girls, whatever the case may be, specifically because these are the people who are willing to put in the time, the effort, the energy, and the money to market your home like it should be. When you look at how millennials buy stuff these days, right, you're not really selling homes to 50-year-old people. They generally already have their home. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're selling to the 19, 25-year-old demographic who is just getting started. Well, what do you know most about millennials? The most extroverted millennial on the planet is looking at your shoes instead of his, right? So what happens? They don't want to come out of the house. They want to look at that home. They want to be able to tour that thing from the inside.
Right.
They want to see that neighborhood from the aerial, right? They want to see where that park is and that school is, and they want to see how those things interact in relationship to one another, right? Is there a bike trail on the back of my house? Is there a lake or a pond around? You know what I mean? Whatever the case may be. And so what we've done is we've kind of compiled all of those things together and put a nice little neat system together so that everybody can walk through that house and know where that living room is in relationship to that back patio or that master bedroom or whatever the case may be.
Sure.
Wow.
That's great.
Well, what's really great is instead of paying $600 for those
this
services,
is going to be my question.
okay, what's really great is instead of paying $600 for all that nonsense, right, we charge you $240.
Okay.
What? Don't look at me like that, because that's how we do. Okay? The only thing we ask is that you let us put you on a subscription package.
Okay.
Okay? If you watch how the shift in the world's happening, you buy your cable by the month, you buy your car by the month, your insurance by the month, right? You are on all kinds of subscription packages and don't even realize it because you don't call it a subscription.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But what happens is, what we've done is we've given agents and brokers the ability to now budget across the year based on their number of listings from the previous year.
Okay.
Right? So what we do is we sell a package of, let's say you did 50 listings last year, right?
Right.
We'll give you a 50 pack. So you pay me X amount of dollars a month, and we'll cover everything. You don't even have to call me. I've got an app. You go on to the app. You type in the address. You type in when you want me to be there. You type in the homeowner's name. Give me the key code.
Okay.
And hit send. I'm not even going to have a conversation with you, okay?
All right.
I make it so easy. You could do this from Starbucks, right? You're standing in line. New listing. Bam, done.
Okay.
Right?
So that's awesome. What if I'm not like an agent though? What if I just have a house that I want to sell? And
If you're a for sale by owner,
I
got a package for you, brother.
There's a package.
I'm gonna take care of you.
Okay.
$499 up to 1,500 square feet, $599 up to 3,000 square feet, and $699 up to 7,000 square feet.
Okay.
I'm gonna come in on that one-time shot, and I'm gonna blast your house out like a movie.
And then you do everything. You make the video. You post it everywhere. I don't have to do anything.
You don't do nothing.
Okay, so you're going to do the publishing and everything.
We do everything. We run it on social media. We blast it out on, I believe it's 16 different social media channels.
Okay.
And we'll give you up to 40 posts on each one. Right?
So
we kill it for you.
That's not bad.
Instead of, what happens now is people go for sale by owner. They put it in this little magazine called the, right? And I won't mention any names, right? But at the end of the day, when's the last time you picked up a magazine? When you were sitting on a plane flying?
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's it.
Yeah.
You're not searching magazines for your home.
No.
You're going right there to that neat little unique device, and you're saying, I want to live on Cherry Street.
Right.
Where's my house? Right? That's how everything's done anymore.
Yeah.
Right? We just adapted. We just brought the the real estate industry into the 21st century. Right? So what happens is people still buy that stuff by the piece. Right? Well, when you're buying it by the piece, not only are you beating yourself up, but now you're screwing the little guy, because the little guy, when he's got that $100,000 house, he doesn't get that same service because you can't afford it, right? It doesn't make sense for you, you know?
Because I'm not buying it in 50s.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. You know? But when you're buying that $500,000 house, you know, the real estate agent's like, hey, I need you over here right now. You got an aerial drone this. You got a 3D this one. This is the baddest house, blah, blah, blah. But what happens to that dude with the $100,000 house? Right? Like,
Yeah.
He's over there going, I just had a lunch date with a realtor who's one of our clients. And he said to me, Roy, she asked me, when do I get the drone video? And I said, well, what'd you tell her? He says, well, I was trying to talk her out of it. And I said, why? And he said, well, because it's just a little house. It's nothing important. I said, but it's important to her.
Right.
Right? She sees you giving that to Bob and Tom and Susie and Jeff and Dave. Now she wants the same thing because she wants to be treated equitably.
Right.
Right? Just like you want to be, you know, even with the McDonald's and the Burger King and the Taco Bell, and they all want to be treated equitably across the board, right? Everybody wants to be treated equally, right? So why are you beating the crap out of the little guy and not giving him nothing? And at the end of the day, you're over there killing it for the guy with the big house. Well, because it all comes down to economics, right? You've heard the old saying, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Right? Well, we've created that package where you can come in and literally get all of those services. We turn the photos around in 24 hours. We have the videos and everything done back to you within 48 hours. Freak out, homie. That shit's on the market. Let's go.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean?
All right. Where do our viewers go to find out more information?
They're going to go to visuallyhome.com. VISUALLYHOME.com.
This is amazing, man.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
for even. This is awesome.
It's a really cool thing, man.
Yeah,
you know,
it's definitely something to be excited about.
It
because
is absolutely.
It's something like you said. You have personal experience in how bad versus good photography can
it changes
change
the world.
Everything.
It's instant too.
And you look it out for the little guy.
Nobody looks out for the little guy. Right?
No one ever.
Nobody.
No one.
And so that's kind of how this. We are the little guy, right? If you will. You know, we don't have 50 rental properties. We got 3. Right? So we kind of are the little guy, you know, and nobody was looking out for us. And so as we developed that program, like we kind of developed it literally around the little guy, you know. And I argue with my partner every day because he wants to go out and attack those 500 listings brokers, and I want the dude who does 20, right?
Yeah.
Why? Because the 500 dude is going to run you to death. He's going to kill you. But the little 20 guy is spread out over the course of the year, and now you can really, truly take care of him.
Yeah.
And
you know what I mean?
He's already running 500.
Right.
He's found something that works for him.
He's already found something that works for him.
You're looking for the one
I'm looking to help you grow.
Who hasn't found
That's exactly right.
the thing that makes it work for them.
That's exactly right.
And by you helping him out, it gives him the room to grow, to be that guy.
Yeah.
Well, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again, right? It's either the worst thing you've ever done or it's the best, because depending on how you want to grow, this is dynamic, right? And you get all of those pieces and components all at the same time that 99% of the homes out there aren't getting,
right?
You know, so
awesome.
Excellent.
That's my spiel, man. Thanks
you,
so
man.
much, gentlemen.
Good
Well,
luck.
we appreciate you taking the time to come talk to us today.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
And
much.
have a good rest of
Appreciate the opportunity.
Have a good rest of the conference.
I'll do it. You guys do the same. Thank you.